Hey everyone, we're going into the second match of a Shadows over Innistrad draft. I think we're going to mulligan this hand. We do have our Tireless Tracker, but he won't be out till turn 4, like at best. And he is good because he can get you out of a bad start, but our opponent also mulligans, so I'm going to go for it too. I think this one's better. It is going to depend on what we see on top of our library, but we're going to keep... Forest would be awesome. Well, that'll work. It's not quite a forest, but works for me. Right, so this may be the reason we couldn't build a vampire deck during our draft. This person may have been close to us in drafting all the sweet vampires there were. We have a slow start here, so that guy's going to beat us down a little bit. Yeah, we'll lead with the swamp. So we have one early spell. We still have the same basic hand. Like, keeping the last hand might have been better, except we do have more spells this time and fewer lands, but so we at least have some ways to do some things later. But for now, we're going to get punched by an insolent neonate. Or so it appears. So I think we just play our island next, and then Warped Landscape. I wouldn't mind just drawing our tap land, so I don't have to... If I play my Warped Landscape after I have Tireless Tracker, it's a little bit better, since it'll give me 2 landfall triggers. Yes, I realize it doesn't actually say landfall here, but it's basically landfall. It would say landfall if it was in Zendikar block. Or Battle for Zendikar block, I guess, is what it is. Opponent playing at a bit of a glacial pace here. So yeah, like an ideal draw would just be our forest or a tap land, because that would get us out our Tireless Tracker sooner. See if our opponent has a turn 2 play. If he does, like Gibbering Fiend right here would be kind of bad. Okay, he doesn't. So we'll play this on the off chance we want to use Compelling Deterrence against our opponent. I don't really see that as a huge likelihood. I might think about it if our opponent like slaps an aura on here or something like that. Looks like that's not going to happen immediately. But Spiteful Motives is a real possibility against any aggressive red deck in the format. And Compelling Deterrence is pretty nice against that. Why didn't you attack exactly? Strange. Okay, well, we're going to play this landscape and grab a forest with it at the end of our opponent's turn. Assuming we don't want to Compelling Deterrence something. Our opponent's stuck on 2 lands. Well, he got his 3rd now. What are you playing here? Okay. Well, the good news is we can actually bounce that. So I think we probably do, to prevent this from happening the way it what? I think our opponent keeps accidentally passing through combat. I'm not really sure what's happening there. I think we still do this. Oh, no, we don't. Do we? Now that he didn't attack, we don't, because now we can just play a blocker. Grab our 1 forest. Opponent, I'm really not sure why he didn't attack the last 2 combats. I had mana untapped, but Insolent Neonate is very, very, very expendable, and I'm not in colors that care whether or not you're attacking, so I'm not sure why what happened. But now we can go Tireless Tracker. Well, is it right to play Drownyard Explorers first because it can block a little better and doesn't die to as much removal? No, probably not. I think we go for the tracker here. And then we drop a land. So next turn we have our twins ready to go too, which is nice. But we can even block this. Well, no, we can't actually. So maybe using compelling in deterrence would have been okay there, but especially because we drew Drown Yard Explorers, it probably would have been okay. But I didn't know I was going to draw that. But it'll only become a 2/2. Big deal. We can deal with that, and we have compelling deterrence to bounce it if we have to. But I think this person is definitely the reason why we didn't get vampires the way we would have liked. I think we probably play the Twins next turn instead of the Drown Yard Explorers, since they block even better. You should probably attack. Please attack. This should already be a 2/2. What is my opponent doing? I'm very confused. Can't block that. I mean, now at least I have a creature in play, so I guess maybe he has a trick or something like that to take down my tracker. Okay. Well, we have a vampire too. Actually, I have a couple of them. We actually saw a pretty late Ire of Falconwrath, which is kind of weird given that this guy is clearly vampires. Oh, well, maybe maybe we took away all the black vampires and he got all the red ones. I don't know. So yeah, I'm even more confused now as to why my opponent didn't attack. Shard, equip, swing would have been pretty nice. Now we can play Twins of Mora Estate and be able to double block. Although if this has first strike, we can't really double block it, but we can block the Sanguinary Mage at least. So our opponent doesn't seem to be playing black, so that means deadweight isn't a huge risk for our tracker. Okay, so this is finally resolving. Should probably equip it since you have one extra mana, unless you have something. Isn't any Fiery Impulse in this format, luckily. So I think we still play our Twins this turn. I guess there's a few cards I could draw that might change my mind, but not a lot of them. Sinister Concoction would probably change my mind. Yeah, that doesn't change my mind. So give us another clue, please. And then we drop their big Twins. Mangler plus Compelling Deterrence is probably something that's going to happen at some point in the nearish future. Okay, so it's a red-white aggro deck that just has several vampires in it, so it appears. You should definitely put your Shard on your Insolent Neonate and attack me, because I'm not going to give up my Tireless Tracker for that. No, I will not. Now, a turn where I get to be able to bounce this, because it's worth noting it doesn't say whenever creatures you control attack, they gain first strike. That means when I bounce it, his creatures all lose first strike. So that's something we should probably hold on to Compelling Deterrence for, because if they lose first strike, we're pretty happy. He could have a trick here. I think we still put Twins of Mara Estate in front of Sanguinary Mage. Well, that's a little bit stranger. Does probably still mean he has a combat trick, so I think we still just take it. Wait, what is happening? I'm very confused. But we won the first game somehow. Our opponent decided to quit. It's not the best viewing experience for you guys. I'm sorry. We took these cards away from him. Hey. And this. Although he doesn't appear to be in black. So do we want to trick like Grotesque Mutation? Probably not. And Gone Missing is decent against that enchantment, but it's not. I don't think it's good enough to bring in. I think we just stick with this. I guess our opponent just realized he'd misplayed a lot and just decided to quit because I had Tireless Tracker in play, but I wasn't going to block there. Maybe he realized I could double block it and it was going to die, which means he didn't have a trick, but I'm not exactly sure. So unfortunately, my opponent just disappeared on me. Looks like we had a pretty sweet hand too. So not the best round two. Match one was pretty good though, and hopefully match three can be as well. We do have a chance to go 3-0, I guess, although it's not the most competitive of 3-0s ever. So we'll see if we can do that though in the next round. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.